One more time, Nick. The dead horse has not been beaten just yet. I'll say, and this time, I think last time, Nick, I did it in the just me category, right? Like I was like, oh, okay. So they said we were divas. They said all we care about is stats. Maybe just me. I'm a stats guy.
We know.
One thing you can't take away from us. This is episode number 80 of The Shift. Nick, how you doing there, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. They did say we were divas. I don't know who said it, but someone did. Someone said it.
Well, you're not a diva. I don't think you're a diva. You don't got a big ego. Am I a diva?
You might be turning into one. You're Mr. Viral now. We'll get into that a little at the end of the show. You're big time guy over there.
No, I'm about to be non-diva, and I'm about to give all the credit to somebody else.
Okay.
Gabriel Rincones Jr.
Yeah.
He's going yard all spring long so far. He's just been look, man, he's a top 10. We're going to get into it. He's a top 10 prospect in the Phillies organization. I'm just speaking from a Phillies fan's perspective, but kid's got a nice swing. Some people talking about it looks like Bryce Harper's.
He's been in the cage.
But we'll get to that in just a little bit. But Nick, we did have a little bit of breaking news to start the show. It just came down about an hour ago. Was originally going to go with another topic to start, but we're going to get to that in just about 15 minutes. But Nick, just came down that Luis Gil was the Rookie of the Year last year in the American League, that he is going to not throw for at least 6 weeks due to a lat strain, right? It was a high grade lat strain, lat strain.
Yep.
And he's at least not going to throw for 6 weeks. Frankie Montas, former Yankee, with the Mets now, is now just about a couple weeks ago, got diagnosed with the same thing. Now, it depends on how severe this is, but from what it's sounding like, they need to get second opinions from different doctors and whatnot. That could be a while, Nick. And, guy was Rookie of the Year last year, definitely had a big impact on why the New York Yankees were able to get as far as they did, which was almost win the World Series and lost to the Dodgers in the Fall Classic. But Nick, let's just get straight to it. Stanton, he's going to be on the DH or the DL to start the year. Giancarlo Stanton. How big of a deal is this now that you're losing as good of a starter as Luis Gil was last year for the New York Yankees? How concerning is this for the Yanks?
Yeah, this is massive, right? One Rookie of the Year. This is someone who's had an injury history. He's already had Tommy John in his career already. This is huge. And, they're saying June might be best case scenario because, listen, there's going to be time he's going to have to ramp back up again, right? He's going to have to build it up when he comes back. So they might not get him till maybe even July. You might not even see him till that's a long time. And he's a big part of this rotation. I guess it's possible that Stroman's probably going to slide in there into his spot. It's going to test their depth in starting pitching. Like, listen, you already got to worry about some of the rotation a little bit. Max Fried, right? Like, you have all these guys and Garrett Cole. Rodon's been hurt before. Fried, we know, has been hurt before. Like, they got to be careful here because it's going to test their depth at this spot. They have Will Warren. They have Carlos Carrasco. Could be waiting in the wings, but there's not a ton of depth there at this point. If I'm the Yankees, I'm a little nervous now to start the season. Listen, they made some really good moves in the offseason with Soto leaving. But Luis Gil is a big part of their rotation. And one Rookie of the Year last year has been really good, pretty consistent for them. You're going into the season thinking, all right, we like our rotation. Everyone's relatively healthy. Think we could be good. And then this happens. You're going to miss him for a long time. And that, you got to hope you get him back by June. That's best case scenario. But yeah, this is a massive loss. And, they're going to get more testing done. Aaron Boone said at Steinbrenner Field that it's quote a real thing. So big loss for the Yankees. Did not expect this to be dropping right before the show. We're recording this of our 80th episode. This is a big deal for the Yankees because their depth, it could wane. And, they have pitchers on that rotation and on that staff that have injury histories. And then for Gil, he already has had Tommy John in his career. Now this is another big injury for him. Going to miss a lot of time. He's going to have to ramp back up. I'd be wary if I'm the New York Yankees. You don't want to start off the season with all these injuries, and that's happened to them before. I mean, the guys like Stanton in the lineup before, right? We saw a few years ago, 2 years back, they dealt with tons of injuries throughout the season. They didn't even make the postseason that year. Last year, they were relatively healthy. They get to a World Series. Not a good way to start your year with the Rookie of the Year going on the IL.
Yeah, so Nick, I just think like initially, I felt like the Yankees had done a lot this offseason to a lot of good stuff and a lot of things that were a little bit overshadowed just because of, Soto going across town to the Mets. But I really think the Yankees have done good stuff this offseason, getting Bellinger, Goldschmidt, there's potential there. Grabbing Fried, I think it's probably pretty big now if you look at it. Getting the trade for Devin Williams, like these were good moves, and I felt like they had a very, very good offseason. It's probably one of the best off seasons in Major League Baseball. But Nick, I think to go with, and Stanton's not going to miss I don't think a huge chunk of time, but he's not going to be ready for the season. Who knows how long he's going to miss? Now we know how long Luis Gil's going to miss. Nick, I just think this rotation now is, look, there's this rotation could still be very good. I think the potential of the rotation, even without Gil, 1 through 5 here, does have potential to be good. Cole, Fried, Rodon, Schmidt, Stroman. In the time that Schmidt wasn't injured last year, was very good. Carlos Rodon, bit of a bounce back year from the year prior.
Yep.
And Stroman's kind of been all over the place, though. And I'll just say this: I don't know if I trust their rotation enough. Look, Cole, Fried, I trust those guys. 100% trust Garrett Cole. Cy Young Award winner now, has been one of the best pitchers in baseball. Since 2018, somewhere around there. Max Fried has been one of the best pitchers in the National League. Since he came up with the Braves about 5-6 years ago. But it's only those two, and then we go to, Rodon. I still need to see him be consistent this year to feel, good about him in the middle of their rotation, right? Clark Schmidt, need to see him put together a full season, with the New York Yankees before I can believe in him down further in this rotation. And then Marcus Stroman's kind of been all over the place. Let's be honest, the last couple of years, been all over the place. But he says he feels like he deserves a spot in this rotation. So I guess if you're Marcus Stroman, this is your time now, right? This is your time as Luis Gil is on the IL. So I think it is a big deal for the rotation. I think the Stanton injury does impact a little bit. I still like their offense, but I don't love it. I'm going to be honest, Nick. I like their bullpen, but then I look to the rest of the division. It's a tough division to fight through. If you're without Gil for, at minimum June, July, that's what, 2 to 4 months, somewhere within that time frame. Blue Jays got better. Orioles are still a good team. Rays, you never know. Red Sox, I talked about in the pod last couple of weeks that I really like what they did this offseason. That's going to be a tough division to fight through. Guardians, you never really know. You just never know. They're always could be right there. Royals, I think, are an underrated team. Yankees saw them last year in the playoffs. Tigers, maybe not. Expected the Tigers to have a different offseason, but still, those are competitive teams there that if the Yankees are going to try to get through the wild card, if the loss of Gil is that big, and then, AL West, I don't know. I mean, not so much in the AL West, but you never know with the, Rangers maybe can have a bounce back year. But it's really more of I don't know, Nick. I just think that now this injury having the impact as long as it might have, not saying the Yankees will miss the playoffs, but it is something to ponder now, man. This is one of the better, pitchers on their staff last year. And, if it gets down to late in the season, and the Yankees are fighting for a playoff spot, you're going to wonder how much this injury could affect those playoff chances.
Yeah, and look, they have 8 series against division rivals through July, through the early part of July. So there's that. You play the Orioles a couple times. You play the Blue Jays. The Red Sox, no slouch of a team anymore. I think they're going to be really good this year. Baltimore's waiting in the wings, man. That lineup's dangerous. So that young team. So that's something you have to monitor as well. You play the Dodgers early on in the season. Like you play the Guardians. You have a tough schedule to start the year. You got the Padres in May. You have the Rangers. You have the Diamondbacks to start the year. There's a lot of really, really good teams. And, in that first month, you're playing the Blue Jays. You're playing the Orioles. You're playing the Rays. Not an easy schedule for the Yankees to start the year at all. You got the Dodgers early on in the season too, during that time that he's going to miss. So this is a big loss because he's an important part of winning those type of series, right? Like you want Hill to be that guy in a rubber match. You want to have him out there for those type of games. He's a young pitcher. You want to keep him on and healthy, and it's just not the case how they're going to start the year. So listen, they have a tough schedule to start the season. Losing one of your better pitchers, top rotation guys, younger pitcher, that's a tough loss. And, hopefully it doesn't amount to more or anything more than it already is, because he's going to miss some time. 6 weeks. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a big loss for the Yankees. And, you hope there's no more injuries to follow, because we've seen this with the Yankees before. Once the ball gets rolling, it seems like everyone starts to get hurt on that team, and hopefully they're not unlucky this year, because that'll be a problem for them.
Yeah, and remember Sam Coonrod, former Philly.
Yeah,
he had the same injury, and he in 2023 missed 5 months. Missed 5 months with the injury. I'm not saying that's what Heel is going to deal with.
He could,
but
he's probably going to miss 3.
Yeah, that's a big deal, man. If you miss 80% of the season, that's ginormous. It really is. So, this isn't this isn't a Yankees team from 98. This isn't a Yankees team from even 2004. You don't have just stack, a stacked team all over the place. It's not that. Yes, it's a very good team, but Luis Gil was a part of the future of this team. He's 26 years old, but he's also a part of the right now when you're trying to win, with Judge and Stanton, who's, only getting older, and Garrett Cole, you're trying to make the most of his prime years. So, and he got hurt last year. So you just don't know. So, with the Yankees, it's always win now. And, congratulations to them for finally, getting rid of their beard policy. So, congratulations. Good stuff to you. But as soon as they get rid of the beard policy, they get some injuries. I wonder if it's a little bit of bad juju. But listen.
Bad juju right there. Yeah.
Juju, just
should have kept it. Should have kept the beard policy. It was unique.
Wait, did we talk about it on the show? We definitely did.
I don't know. I think we did. Did we talk about it last week?
I feel like we had to have, right? No.
Was it between episodes? It could have been.
I feel like it was between episodes, man. Because I feel like that's a conversation we would have remembered having. Yeah. Maybe. Hey, but maybe this is the black cat for them.
Yep.
No more black beards, and now the black cat.
Need the Brian Wilson beard. San Francisco Giants need that beard.
Don't even
need every Yankee to grow the Brian Wilson beard. How about that? Really, really show it to them.
Imagine that. Yeah, just spray it black.
Yeah.
Jeez. But this is a big injury, and hoping the best for Luis Gil, that he comes back better than ever, and that the Yankees can. So we'll hopefully he can be back and get healthy and all that stuff. Yep. So Luis Gil, but not looking good, as he has a high-grade lat strain, and same injury as across the town with Frankie Montas with the New York Mets. And we will monitor the situation as it goes on. But Nick, it is 5:46 p.m. After the show, I'll be having my dinner. I don't know what I'm having. I don't know what I'm having. I'm having salmon. Might have a little bit of, maybe have a turkey burger too.
So when this airs is when you'll be having your your salmon, your turkey burger.
Well, what time we aired? Like 8 p.m.
Yeah, around 8, I think.
Yeah, and all the people watching this are like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
They're like, "What are we talking about?" But I'm gonna eat dinner probably like 6:30.
Okay. So you have it before. You'll have it
What?
before then. You'll have it before then.
Yeah,
Then
so you mean I'll be having it. I've already had it while the time this is airing right now. So dinner was great.
dinner was great. There you go.
What do you have? What do you having for dinner when you get home? Because I know you're at work right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when I get home, I got a few leftovers in the fridge. I think I'm gonna have. I got pizza in there to choose from. I got chicken tenders, fries.
The works.
So got a lot of stuff in there I could choose from today.
This is actually breaking news here for the meat and potatoes segment. I think last couple of weeks actually. I think it's been when you hit 30, dude. I think it's gonna hit you. You're not gonna be able to eat like you used to, man. I used to be able to just
telling you. I tried telling you.
I used to be able to just fork down. Like if I wanted to eat like crap, I'll just eat like crap. Like especially like this past weekend, man. Like I got home last night and like, I did an overnight and then I went to a hardcore show. So I was like, I was tired. And usually
you think you're in your 20s, don't you? You still think you're in your 20s.
Yeah, I thought
Big 3-0 thinks he's in his 20s still.
Mentally. Yeah. And but the point is I was on my way home and I was like, normally I would just like maybe just get McDonald's or something because I'm just like, so mentally out of it. And I couldn't even do it because I was just like, I couldn't even think about it. I was like, nah, I can't eat something like that crappy.
Wow.
Oh man, it's there, man. I'm 30.
Wow.
I'm 30. It's the dirty 30 as they call it.
The dirty 30s hitting Francisco, that's for sure.
Woo. Yeah, I saw you chickies and pizza the other night. I'm sure you were eating whatever you could. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Nuggets, so
definitely. I could eat anything right now. I got a stomach of steel. That's what they say.
Yeah, savor it because when you're like 30, you're gonna be like, oh man,
I got a couple of years. Man,
Nick can't eat anymore.
Got a couple of years. I'm good.
They'll be here before you know it. Anyway, I'm not trying. I'm just being selfish right now. I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's all right. You're a big star now, so we understand.
Oh,
we understand.
Just ginormous. All right, Nick. Let's get to what the original lead of the show was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Before the heel news came down. It has been, I guess, it's been a little more than a week of spring training.
Yep.
It's a tiny bit over that. But, we got to talk about our observations. It's been a week. I want to know what's on your mind. What'd you see that you liked? What that you didn't like? What you maybe don't. Any observations, takeaways? Give me 3 of them. You spit 3 of them at me. I'll spit 3 back at you.
All right. You ready?
Let's do it.
Number 1. The ABS system is freaking awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it because I wasn't going to mention it. So this is good. So
awesome.
Yeah,
I absolutely love the ABS. It's quick. It's easy. We figure it out. I love it. I think the ABS system is going to be a massive success when they eventually do implement it into the regular season. It's huge. I mean, the strategy behind using the challenges for it, this is going to be awesome when they implement it. It's just about getting it right. And me and you, we're calling for the robots. We're calling for the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where are you at? Because we need the Terminator. We need the robots. ABS is good enough. I'll take it. ABS has been a success in spring training. So that's my first one.
Yeah. And then you get moments like Max Scherzer with Trey Turner. They were just screwing around. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I did see that.
It was right down the middle. Turner was like, nah, I'm going to call this. It was the first pitch of the game. He said, boop, boop. I don't know what that noise was. But I like the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, too, because now I'm thinking of, what if we had these, Terminator robots in the field,
as umpires.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
And
and then players might think twice about trying to argue a call.
Yeah, you try and argue a call, buddy.
I'll freaking kill you.
I love it. But yes, all kidding aside, ABS has been a massive success. That is my first takeaway.
Okay, give me number 2.
Number 2. I actually brought this up on the radio for my hit on the radio today, the day of this recording. And it was I was thinking about this over the weekend, and I just don't understand why the Phillies rotation. I feel like we're underappreciating how good this Phillies rotation could be. And I think there should be more there should be at least equal hype, if not more hype, than the 2011 rotation. Because I think this one has the potential to be better than that rotation. I really do. If they stay healthy, I mean, Wheeler, Nola, Luzardo, Ranger, Sanchez, and then possibly
Taiwan.
Well, relax. Let's not Taiwan. Stop.
Who were you going to say then potentially?
I was going to say potentially Andrew Painter by the end of the year.
I was telling that. He's a bullpen role. Taiwan Walker's coming back.
I understand that.
Walker's coming back. Velo's back up. Go ahead. Look, man.
Listen, I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
He wrote the freaking article.
I hope you're right. Listen, I hope you're right about Taiwan Walker.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
I hope you're right. However, I don't see it. He's going to be in a bullpen role for majority of the year. Probably, if not all, he'll get some starts here and there. But like you look back on this season, it would be those 5, and then later in the year, if Painter gets a chance to start a few games, I mean, that's pretty ridiculous to say the least. That's 6 really good pitchers. I mean, Painter, obviously, young guy, hasn't proven anything yet. But I mean, those 6, that's pretty crazy. And then if Taiwan Walker has a comeback, it's even crazier.
Yep. Go ahead.
Keep wishing. Keep wishing. All right. So that's number 2. Number 3 is that Elly De La Cruz. I mean, he's got a shot. He's got a shot to be in the MVP mix this year. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's
he's got a shot to be in the MVP mix. That's my third thing. Well, I had to sneak one in there. I had to sneak an Elly point in there. I got it written down.
I was the first one to tweet when he hit those.
How do I make Francisco mad by adding and inserting Elly De La Cruz into the mix here? So yes,
I'm an Elly fan.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're not an Elly fan.
Why am I not an Elly fan?
I wouldn't let you in the Elly fan club, to say the least. But I wouldn't let you in the Elly De La Cruz fan club to say.
I don't want to be in your fan club. Your fan club's you're like illogical, and all you do is glaze, bro. That's all you do is glaze.
I think he's gonna be. If he stays healthy, watch out. Watch out.
Wait. So you think no? This is actually really interesting. Because we talked about it before the show. So you think he's going to hit like 24 home runs and be in the MVP conversation?
Between 24 and 27, I see him. And I think he's going to have close to 100 stolen bases. I think he's going to get close. He's going to get close to that. I think the strikeout numbers are going to go down. He's going to hit for a great average, right around 300. I think 290 sounds about right. He's going to be in the mix.
His batting average is still so important.
He's going to be in the mix.
Yep. But you're right. If his batting average is up, that means his on base percentage is 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good 3. So I'm gonna give you my 3. So, I mean, it was all over the internet, dude. I mean, come on, Paul Skeens' new cutter. I mean, what are we doing? The guy's gonna win. What am I talking about? The wins don't matter because Taiwan Walker had 15 wins, 2 years ago. But you don't want to. We're not gonna get through that. But dude, Paul Skeens working on a new cutter. Did you see it? I didn't really get to watch any of his his.
I'm surprised now you're a Paul Skeens fan. I
was always a Paul Skeens fan. I
Well,
always was. It's just that the only problem I ever had with Skeens is obviously most noted on the show is that I didn't think he was deserving of Rookie of the Year. And I stand by it.
He was more than deserving, but continue.
I will stand by it. But the fact that Paul Skeens is adding a cutter to his pitch mix, it's pretty unfair. It's pretty unfair. He's already got a good arsenal of pitches. We see how nasty, his 4-seam fastball is. Throws the sinker, throws the curve, throws everything. Throws everything. And I just, the fact that Paul Skeens now has a new cutter that he is debuting, I don't know how much he's going to throw it this year. I don't, it's something he's just tinkering with, working on. He can just do whatever he wants. But the fact that he's working on a new pitch at 22 years old here, I mean, the kid's ready to win the Cy Young already. He's already ready to he's already one of the faces of baseball, to be honest. Like he is.
Yes.
He is. Like he's on the cover of the show with 2 other guys, which doesn't make any sense. It's stupid, but that's not the point of what I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make. But Skeens, just the fact that the cutter just looked disgusting. I'm like, this isn't fair. And thank God the Phillies didn't have to face him. Actually, no, because if I wanted the Phillies to face him at any point, it's in spring training, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Make Bryce look stupid when it doesn't matter.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right. Because you don't want to see it during the regular season or the postseason.
Right. We don't want to see that. Number 2, and you already took the words out of my mouth, man. It's like the Phillies rotation, and I'll just stick with like, Wheeler. I think Zach Wheeler, man. Like Zach Wheeler is ready to go win the Cy Young. I just did a video on this for the channel a couple of days ago. Like, go watch that, and you want to hear me expand more upon it. But like, I think he is really like, he was ready to win the Cy Young last year. He was ready to win the Cy Young in 2021. But like, 4 strikeouts in his debut. I think this is like a year for him to really go win a Cy Young. Go win a Cy Young. So Wheeler's right there. It's Nola. Luzardo looked great in his debut. Christopher Sanchez, I don't know. He's trying to be the Terminator. He's bulking up this offseason. He's maxed out 98 on his fastball, man. Like, I think the Dodgers rotation, the depth is unbelievable. And it's like nothing I've really ever seen. But like the Phillies rotation has a chance to be right there with the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Mariners. Like, it's rotations like that. And the Phillies rotation, if it wasn't for the Dodgers rotation having so much depth, with adding Blake Snell this offseason and getting Shohei Ohtani back, potentially this year to pitch, I think the Phillies rotation will be right there. And, watching them this week, I'm just like, wow, this rotation has, just like, reiterating pretty much what you said, just has the chance to be, the best in baseball, depending on how the Dodgers rotation looks. But I saw Dustin May this week too, and he looks pretty goddamn good. So Phillies rotation, that was number 2 right there with you. Number 3 is, too busy talking about Ellie. You didn't even mention Skeens. How about Corbin Carroll? 3 home runs in his first 4 games, 104 off the bat, 108 off the bat, and then 110. Corbin Carroll, you're talking about Ellie De La Cruz going for MVP. I think I'm ready to go see Corbin Carroll go for MVP. And that's big for them. It's big for him, for the 24-year-old. That's big for the Diamondbacks trying to compete. And I'm not going to say they're going to compete for they'll compete for the wild card. I was going to say they compete for the division. Nah.
That's your team. Have belief in your team.
Settle down.
Have belief. That's your guy. That's your team.
Big time belief. But look, man, Carroll last year, bit of a down year as far as average OBP, OPS, all that stuff. Did have 14 triples. Stole 35 bases. Still like a good year. Had a B WAR over 3. Like, still a good player, but not what his rookie season entailed. So Corbin Carroll, though, man, looking good in spring. It's just spring. It's only spring. Gabriel Rincones, he's not going to automatically be a major leaguer this year. But Corbin Carroll, though, looking pretty good. What do you got to say for yourself for not mentioning Corbin Carroll?
I'm not.
Or are you out of this fan club now because you're?
I was never in his fan club. I was never in his fan club.
Corbin guy?
No, I was never a Corbin guy. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say like he's a bad player. He's a great player. But, I was a little upset that year that he won Rookie of the Year because, I was campaigning for Ellie that year, and then he fell off a cliff.
Carroll deserved it.
But then Ellie De La Cruz had a bounce back sophomore year. Didn't have a sophomore slump like Corbin Carroll. So we're back in the mix, and Ellie's back. I think he's going to outduel Corbin once again this year. It's all right. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, okay? All right, with these Corbin Carrolls, give me a break.
You're fine. Fine. That's all I'd say about this, because I'm not going to go on and on and on about it because we got other stuff to talk about. So how about Travis Hunter? I'm surprised like you always do this thing where you're like, yo, I had some topics for the show in the notes app, whatever. Which I
totally I can't believe I forgot to add that, and you got it.
I know you heard it. Like, I know
your inner Gen Z came out. We're like, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. But Travis Hunter, if you don't know who he is, just won the Heisman Trophy this year in Colorado. Yep. And he's a two-way player. He plays defensive back, and he's also a wide receiver and does both extremely well. I'm pretty sure. Doesn't he play receiver more? He led catches, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So I think I was reading the last full time. Like Dion did it, right? Like he went back and forth a little bit. The last full-time guy supposedly was Bednarik with the Philadelphia Eagles. Chuck Bednarik, legendary center linebacker in the NFL. So if he's able to do this, that would be amazing. If they let him, if whoever he gets drafted by, that would be awesome. But there's another two-way player that's been doing another sport, the sport we talk about on this show, that he compared himself to a little bit.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
And he was asked a question at the NFL Combine, NFL players or future NFL players getting ready in the NFL Combine, track and speed, all their agility, all that stuff. Honestly, just useless stuff for me, but whatever. But during the press conferences, Travis Hunter was asked if Shohei Ohtani, if what Shohei Ohtani does in the big leagues as a pitcher and a hitter is tougher than what he does. And he said, no, it's not, because I forget what was the exact answer. He said, no, it's not, because, it's more of a physical. I think it's more because isn't that what he said? More because it was more physically taxing.
Yes.
It's more or less. At which, I'll be honest, I'm not looking at Travis Hunter saying, oh, you're an idiot, you're stupid. There's people saying that, of course, fans are going to react the way fans are going to react. But honest answer, Nick, I see both sides. I'm just going to be honest. I see both sides. From what Ohtani, I will say this, the edge that I would give here would be out to Ohtani, just, I guess, because of what he does at such a peak performance in sports in general. Being able to hit a baseball, is just one of the most impossible things to do in sports.
Chad Ochocinco agrees, by the way. Chad Ochocinco does agree.
Yes, he does. Keeping along. That was an all-time answer today on First Take. All-time answer. Appreciate Chad Ochocinco for saying what he said. But Nick, like I was saying, I think that I just think I understand the whole, from Travis Hunter's perspective, football is a really brutal sport. You know what I mean? And I do something brutal too. I'm a hardcore mosher. I get it. It's brutal. I get it. People don't understand it. I get it's brutal. You know what I mean? So I understand it. It's the football of music. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So,
oh my God, only Francisco Rojas would compare hardcore music show and moshing to football.
Right. Well, why is it different?
Only you.
It's physically taxing. I can't
especially at 30 years old. I'm sure it's physically taxing. I'm sure.
Listen, there's two of the hardest things to do in the world. It's be a good hardcore mosher and keep a woman happy long term. Okay. That's the two toughest things to do in the world. Facts. It's facts. And I am only good at one of those things. Good hardcore mosher. That's it. Yep. Can't keep long term. I can't even keep a girl. How about that? Can't even do that. So I can't, I'm good at one of those departments. So that completely went off the rails. But all that
by your own accord, by the way, by your own accord. I laid the foundation.
It was on me.
I laid the foundation.
Real quick. So no, honestly though, I will say this, it's a very tough thing to do what Travis Hunter does in football, but also go do it at the NFL level, man. It's no disrespect. I mean, confident guy, respect it. Do it at the NFL level. Ohtani's doing it at an MVP level. He's doing it at an MVP level. So that's my thing. I give credit to Travis Hunter. He's a confident guy, like what he said. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about what is tougher, I would say Ohtani just a little bit.
Yeah, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports. So it's automatically Ohtani. I will agree, though, with Travis Hunter. He does bring up a great point. It's more taxing on his body. I 100% agree with him there. More pain, playing, corner, playing wide receiver. It's not Chuck Bednarik. You're not playing center and linebacker. So it's not as taxing. It's more taxing than a baseball player. Definitely. Agreed. Okay, sure. But pitching and hitting, that at an MVP level, at an all-time great level, doing both at an all-time great level at the major league level, yes, I'm giving the edge to Ohtani here. It's much more difficult to do what he's doing, to go out every fifth day, Being a Cy Young contention, also hitting the cover off the baseball every single day. That's
by the way, homer in his first at bat.
Yeah. So I'm going to give the edge to Ohtani. Also, he's playing corner and wide receiver, not as taxing as a Chuck Bednarik. Like I said, center, middle linebacker. That's crazy. But because that you're getting punished all the time. Not to say wide receiver corners don't, but at those positions are more physically taxing. That's why you haven't seen a full-time player since him, for the most part, playing the two-way. So what Hunter's doing, incredibly difficult, very hard to do. All the credit in the world. He also hasn't stepped foot in the National Football League field yet. Exactly. So that's another reason you bring that point up, and that's a massive part of this. He has not played at a professional level yet. He's only done it in college. Very, very great. I mean, the guy's a Heisman winner. He's been amazing. He's gonna be a top draft pick. Awesome. Need to see it at the National Football League level. We'll see if a team lets him do it full time. In today's day and age, I don't know how much they'll let him do it. Probably on occasion. We'll see. But yeah, both of them are unicorns to their sport, and they're both fun to watch. But I mean, the hardest thing to do is hit a baseball in sports. So if you could fail 7 out of 10 times to be a Hall of Famer, I mean, it's pretty easy. Pretty easy choice here.
Yeah, Nick. So 2 things. The first thing, I mean, reiterating what you said, but Chad Johnson said it. I think once you get to the NFL, like, everyone's elite there. Everyone is really good. Everyone's the best at their craft. Everyone, is the best. So if Travis Hunter is going, if there is a chance he's going to do both at the NFL level and be elite, then we can have maybe a different conversation about this. But he has not done that yet. And number 2, so I gave you my comparison about, with the moshing and keeping a girl long-term happy. What are the 2 toughest things in the world for you from your perspective?
Jeez.
From your life.
Oh, man. This is tough.
Is it being a program director for WDPDK?
No.
Doing the ship at the same time? Like, what's the...
Oh, gosh. You put me on the spot here. I'd say, hitting a baseball was tough. I played baseball growing up in high school, too.
You played in high school. I stopped in middle school. So.
Yeah. I stopped in high school, but then I switched over to running 400-meter hurdles in track. See, in my head, I can do anything I want.
You did JUCO, right?
Yeah. In my head, I can do anything I want. I just need a little practice at it. So I don't think there's anything that difficult. I think I could achieve anything at that point. So I'm gonna be a little confident here. Okay. I don't think there's anything. That's why I can't think of anything. I mean, I think I can do everything pretty well, to say the least.
All right. You know what, Nick?
Ocho Cinco's got a little bit of a point with the second one. That one's a little tough, but I think we'll get there. At some point.
I texted you this earlier, but Chad Johnson, I still hate calling him Ocho Cinco. I hated it when he.
I love it. I think it's.
Hated when he changed his name. You probably don't remember. You weren't even born yet. But when he changed his name, Look, man. When he changed his name, I never wanted to call him Ocho Cinco. I kind of do now, but not really. I still want to call him Chad Johnson. One of my favorite sports personalities right now. He needs to be on First Take more often than he needs to. Fantastic. Maybe we'll come on the shift. We can talk about. I feel like he played baseball. I feel like he did.
He's a big advocate for fast food, specifically McDonald's. That's what he ate throughout his career. So I'm just saying,
it's not good.
And you complained it at 30 years old. He had it throughout his entire career. I'm just saying.
Yep. All right, Nick. So the Pete Rose thing. You want to introduce this here? So Donald Trump, the president, has pardoned Pete Rose posthumously.
Wild.
Yes, wild stuff. Didn't really see this coming. This came out of nowhere, right?
This came out of nowhere. This was tweeted out on February 28th at 11:38 p.m. at night. I'm usually not thinking about Pete Rose and pardoning him posthumously. After the fact, this is crazy. So President Trump, I did not think this would be a topic on the shift ever, but here we go. Yeah. Tweeted out or truthed out. Major League Baseball didn't have the courage or decency to put the late great Pete Rose, also known as Charlie Hustle, into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now he is dead. Will never experience the thrill of being selected, even though he was a far better player than most of those who made it and can only be named posthumously. What a shame. Anyway, over the next few weeks, I will be signing a complete pardon of Pete Rose, who shouldn't have been gambling on baseball, but only bet on his team winning. He never bet against himself or the other team. He had the most hits by far in baseball history and won more games than anyone in sports history. Baseball, which is dying all over the place, should get off its fat, lazy ass and elect Pete Rose, even though far too late into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Following this tweet over the weekend, there are now reports that Rob Manfred is considering reinstating Pete Rose into baseball. Francisco, wild chain of events. The president of the United States at almost midnight sending this out to the world. Wild.
Yeah,
wild stuff.
Food smells really good downstairs.
There you go. You're getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
All right, just your general reaction.
Yeah.
Should he be reinstated? Should he be in the Hall of Fame? What say you?
Yeah, I'm not going to give you my, I'm not into politics, and I'm not going to give you what my initial reaction was, which is probably understand what my initial reaction was.
I cracked up.
I'll tell you this. I texted you, and I was like, I thought that was fake. Like,
you did.
I was like, I thought when you sent it to me, I'm like, oh, someone just made a stupid fake tweet about this, but it wasn't. It was real. I'll say this about this. Weird timing. Well, I mean, he just passed away, so I guess not weird timing for it. But
right.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think Pete Rose as a player should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's the best person or not. Probably leaning towards not. That's all I'll say on that. But Ty Cobb wasn't a good person either. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. So Pete Rose, all-time hit king. Numbers, obviously unbelievable. Think he should be in the Hall of Fame for his numbers. That's all. That's my biggest reaction. I think we've already kind of talked about it in the show anyway. So what about you? What about your?
Well, I want to rehash. I'm going in depth. I want to go in depth a little bit here.
Okay.
Actually, I thought this was absolutely hysterical. When I woke up to this, the following morning, I cracked up. I thought it was hysterical that this at
midnight.
Think
it was fake at first or no?
Huh?
Did you think it was fake?
No, not one bit. I knew it was real. I knew it was real. Yeah, a lot there. I'm in agreement. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm agreeing with you. Agree with the president on this one. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. No doubt about it. Also agree with you in the sense, not a great guy. Pete Rose, probably not the best guy ever. Yeah. Not someone you should probably.
Yeah, there's some other stuff, not just the gambling stuff. There are other stuff.
Off the field stuff.
Again, I don't know 100% all that stuff. So we're not going
to. So not a great guy. However, my beef is that we've been to the Hall of Fame the past couple of years. It was our first time over the past, 2 years. So we've gone, right, to Cooperstown. Yeah. We got to see pretty much all of the Hall of Fame now.
Right.
They have the museum part on the second, third levels or third and fourth levels, whatever it is, right? They have the museum part. Mm-hmm. Pete Rose is in that part of the museum. It shows the history of the game, the history of what he accomplished, etc. This is the problem baseball has, is he's literally in the building. They reference Pete Rose in the building of the Hall of Fame, but they can't have a plaque for him in the downstairs area where all of the plaques to all Hall of Famers are. I think this is wildly insane that they have him upstairs, but they don't have him downstairs. All you have to do on his plaque is say what he did. That's all you have to do. And it's the same thing with the steroid people. That's all you have to do is put a little asterisk next to their name. That's all you have to do. Or a little, when they have the busts and they have the plaques, they put a whole paragraph of their career, etc., accomplishments. So why don't you say they were part of the steroid era? Why don't you say Pete Rose was banned for betting on baseball as well and had a complicated history? That's all you have to do. The fact we can't get over this and the president has to send out a tweet out of nowhere, but is sending out a tweet about this is actually insane. The fact we cannot figure this out is crazy to me. And I've been very consistent on this. I think all the steroid users, whoever it was, Bonds, Sosa, McGuire, all should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Put a asterisk next to them. You're documenting the history of the game. You have them upstairs. All of them are upstairs in the museum aspect of the Hall of Fame. You can have them as well in the actual room where all of the Hall of Famers are at. That's what I have to say on.
Yeah, no, 100. I'm glad you brought that up because I felt the same way about, seeing Sosa and McGuire and their stuff in the Hall of Fame, and then documenting the home run, the home run chase. So I feel the exact same way. It doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, 1,100% agree. And when it's one of the best players of all time, like
he literally has the most hits of all time. I mean, how is he not in the Hall of Fame? I get he bet on baseball, but he bet on his own team. And now you have ads at every stadium, on every commercial during games. You have guys sponsoring it. I don't know, DraftKings, FanDuel. I mean, you have them it's everywhere. So,
Yeah, no, dude, I great points. And should be in the Hall of Fame. I will say we'll see. 2028, I believe, is the earliest he can get in. He will not be able to get in through a writer's vote because that time has passed. So it's going to have to be by way of a committee. So the earliest that would be is the voting in late 2027, which would be the election for 2028, which when he'd be inducted. So we shall see. Nick, look, man, I'll let you lead. You let the last one. You want to lead the close. That's fine. I'm here. You want to say I'm a big superstar now because MILB Central, tweets me out. Go ahead. What do you got to say about me?
Yeah, listen, they tweeted you out, and you didn't even see it until I sent it to you.
Yeah, I did not at all.
So MILB Central took a tweet from the great Rojas Media, Francisco Rojas.
I'm thinking about changing my Twitter name
on Twitter. And I wake up this morning, I get into the office. I'm walking in, I'm scrolling Instagram, like, what the heck? Rojas Media, Gabriel Rincones has been destroying baseballs this spring. And I was like, wow, this guy was finally right for once. He finally got something right. It goes a little viral. MILB Central, also, shout out to them. They post great content all the time. For posting your tweet about Rincones and followed by a couple of highlights from him. I thought it was hysterical. I sent it to you this morning. You're like, what? That's crazy. So kudos to you, buddy, for finally being right on a tweet, going viral. Mr. Celebrity over there. We love to see it. Yeah. Yes. So I put it on my story. Everyone can go see it. And I thank you for the update on Gabriel Rincones.
What can I say? I got home and I was looking at the Phillies box scores for that day for, the most important spring training. And I saw Gabriel Rincones hit another home run. So I was like, I got to tweet it out. This kid's raking. He's raking all week long. So I felt like it was appropriate. The only thing I will say to MILB Central is, man, come on, like tag me. Like, where's the respect? Give me a tag. That's all. I don't need a follow. I don't need any of that. Just tag me.
Well, they did take it from Twitter and it was on Instagram, so they might not correlated because your handles are different, right? They're different from Insta and Twitter.
They might be. Yeah, they might be somewhere. I feel like you're trying to give them excuses. I don't know if I'm about that. I didn't know.
I'll shout them out.
Are you team Shift or are you team MILB Central _ Central?
In this case, might be team MILB.
Oh,
in this case, they could have tagged the Shift. Now, I would have rather them tag the Shift.
I would agree with that.
Where's my tweet? I put out a couple of good tweets.
Yeah, what's the last thing you've tweeted about him?
I'm shocked you never put an Ellie tweet up for me. Like, I'm shocked. There's been no Ellie tweets.
And what's the last thing you've tweeted about
in the past year when he, Skeens, they could have put up. I've had a lot of Skeens tweets. The Orioles, when I worked for the Blue Rock. I mean, I worked in the minors. Come on, a little love here.
Right. Well,
I'm a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous.
Hey, when superstars from another world are tweeting about your world, they're like, "Oh, we need free press." You know what I mean? So I get it. I get where they're coming from, but
I guess.
Thanks for.
I thought I was the minor league guy, and all of a sudden Rojas is on MILB Central.
I'm stealing your spotlight, bro. What can I say? I'm taking your spot.
Oh, God.
Fran on the show.
But he has been cooking. But like to get back to the actual point of the tweet and the post, Gabriel Rincones has been destroying baseballs this spring.
Yes, I don't tell lies. Why do you think I don't lie on the show?
I never said you lied. I said you've been wrong. You've just been wrong before.
Yeah, I don't. A lot. Well, all right. Give me. I'm curious about this. If you can offhand, give me my 3 worst takes on the show. We should have just led the show with this.
Wrong with Skeens. I mean, that's a big one. You've been wrong about Ellie De La Cruz.
What did I say about Ellie?
The Arizona Diamondbacks, the whole jersey thing. You're wrong there.
What did I say about Ellie? I'm curious about Ellie.
the Patrick Mahomes jersey thing. You were wrong there. I could go on and on.
Are we doing Ellie versus O'Neal again this year? O'Neal.
I think we should. I think that should continue. That's a great bit. It
is a great bit. I think, yeah. Who has a higher ceiling now? Is it? Yeah, I guess
it's Ellie. Ellie. Yeah. O'Neal, good player, but not Ellie. Not Ellie level.
O'Neal had a good full season last year.
Yeah,
good. Wasn't.
You're always trying to put Ellie down, man. Always trying to.
I guess you're right. I guess I'm just an Ellie hater, even though I'm a Ellie lover at the same time.
You're not walking in the fan club.
Oh my god. I wanted to end the show with like a little, AJ Brown thing again, but I'm not going to do it. By the way,
you are a little bit of a diva now. You're turning into a big star.
Yeah, because again, thanks to Gabriel Rincones.
Yeah,
thank you. But AJ Brown, by the way, former All-American baseball player.
He was.
Diego Padre.
Got drafted. Yep, got drafted.
So, all right, I think that's going to do it for episode 80. I will be putting out. I'm going to try to put out a video this week. Make sure you go check out the Zach Wheeler stuff from a couple of days ago. That is on the YouTube channel. If you are on YouTube, that means you go scroll to the video before this.
Yeah.
And if you are on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere that we are not on YouTube, make sure you go subscribe to us on YouTube. That is The Shift, and all our stuff is on the bottom here in our thingamajigger. But go follow us. We'll follow as well. All that good stuff. This has been episode 80, The Shift. Talk to you guys soon.